I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Hey, this is Matt once again. What about another review? This is another review, a PayPal request for Nick Rosenkrantz, who sent a very generous donation to my PayPal, who wanted both reviews and commentaries for all three of the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films. Now, I talked about the first one, which I'm not really a big fan of. I personally think it doesn't hold up well at all, really. The third film, I'll get to that, it's horrendous. One of the worst sequels. This one, though, watching it again, it's a good movie. I admit, if I had to be fair, you could fairly call this the best Spider-Man movie. For a number of reasons. I'm still not a fan of Tobey Maguire. I'm still not a fan of Kirsten Dunst. I mentioned in the first review. I'll mention a lot in the next review, which should be uploaded the same day as this, why I don't like those two. I don't care for them as actors or actresses, although I like Kirsten Dunst and Jumanji, the first one, and Pleasantville for Tobey Maguire. For the most part, I'm not really big on them. I don't care for the characters. I just think James Franco or many other people could work better as Spider-Man. Jake Gyllenhaal apparently was going to be Spider-Man in this movie, because at one point Tobey Maguire, he has back pains, that he might not have been able to do it. I would have preferred Jake Gyllenhaal, who did a great job in Far From Home. Whatever you feel about the movie, I thought he did a great job in that. With that said, this movie, one of the three films, I think it has the best flow to it. It felt like it was, for the most part, the most concise story of all three movies. The first one, it felt like you're putting two movies in one. You got the origin movie, and then you got the Green Goblin movie. And the third one, it felt like 18 fucking movies in one picture. Here, it was his doubts of being Spider-Man, which is losing some powers, should he be Spider-Man, and then the Doc Ock. Again, it just flowed better, felt more smoother of a story. Number two, even though there's still some of that cringeworthy humor, like the raindrops keep falling on my head, and then the freeze frame, there's not as much in this as the first one. And there's even some humor that works. The elevator scene, where I believe the guy's Hal Sparks, and then says he's lost his powers, he's in a Spider-Man outfit, and he's going down the elevator, and he's talking to Spider-Man, hey, I love your costume. Like, that interaction. And the way Tobey Maguire delivered the humor in that scene, it just felt more natural. Like, that's humor that's more natural. That type of humor should have been more throughout the films, not the very goofy, silly, I hate using the word cheesy, but it fits, cheesy humor, like the raindrops keep falling on my head. It's like, you don't need that, Sam Raimi. I will say I think this is the best directed of the three Spider-Man films in this set. It felt like Sam Raimi was a bit more willing or able to throw a bit of his touches. For example, the scene where Doc Ock wakes up, or at least his arms wake up, and the way the camera will do these push-ins, like the push into a chainsaw. Nice little nod to Evil Dead. And then a push into the doctor's face, and the way that's edited, and a woman scratching the floor as she's being pulled into the darkness. Which then infuriates me more because you could have done this with Venom. We should have made a horror character. I'll get to that next time. But the way that scene's directed, and the scene where Mary Jane and Peter Parker are outside this cafe and you hear this stomping, and each time it stomps, it like pushes into the characters, and it pushes over there, and then the camera pushes closer to the characters, and each time the sound effect of the stomp come in the way. Again, the directing techniques I thought were much better here. The action sequences, they just felt more alive. Maybe because I like Doc Ock, Alfred Molina. Granted, I'm still, why does every villain have to be sympathetic? And Doc Ock definitely wasn't sympathetic in the comics. But Alfred Molina, who I remember from Raiders of the Lost Ark, "Throw me the idol, I throw you the whip. Give me the whip." Si, senor. You know, at the beginning of Raiders of the Lost Ark, that's Alfred Molina. He plays the villain here, Dr. Octopus. I liked him. His performance was much more natural compared to Willem Dafoe. He's definitely a better fit of a casting choice than Topher Grace as Eddie Brock. Even if that's supposed to be the Ultimate Spider-Man comic, still, I think there's other people you could get than Topher Grace. But Alfred Molina, his reactions, his delivery of the dialogue just felt very natural. He did a really solid job. Other directing techniques, when he does an experiment and goes haywire, and the glass is approaching his wife, and you see the wife's face in the reflections of the glass. Certain way shots are, like when Spider-Man's pulling the power cables, and the camera's up top looking at Spider-Man, pulling the cables out of the wall. So really good looking shots, the way the sequences are staged. When they're fighting on the side of a building, or they're fighting on the side of a train. The action sequences are much more improved, and the best of the three. You could very easily argue the best action scenes of any Spider-Man movie. The way the costume looks still looks good like it did in the first one. I still like the organic web shooters, like I said in the first one. I like the idea of the organic web shooters. I'm still not sure about his lack of confidence is why he's losing his power. I get why they're doing that for the subplot, because he's having doubts. Should he be Spider-Man anymore? So they want something for the character to play off with. It's just, I thought that was a bit too soon for the second movie. Maybe there's a long series of movies and it was like the fourth or so movie maybe, but the second film, already he's going to quit. I just felt, boom, right at the second time, I'm out. I just felt that was a card pulled off a bit too soon. Just a bit too soon. Yeah, I just thought that was a bit too quick. I mean, did they do that in the second comic book or Spider-Man? Like, the second time, he quits. It's a bit too soon for my liking. I get why they were doing it for storyline purposes, but I just, personal preference-wise, I didn't care for that. I did also to showcase images from the comics, like the costume and the trash can, but again, I just felt that was a bit too soon. Like, maybe if that was part of the storyline of the part 3, where he wants to marry Mary Jane, so he wants to quit. Maybe. And there's jettison a lot of the other bullshit. Maybe. J.K. Simmons comes back as J. Jonah Jameson. The same actress who plays Aunt May. They both do a wonderful job here. They, I think, encapsulate their characters, as I saw them in the comics reading when I was a kid, fairly well. They encapsulate those characters. J.K. Simmons has that fiery energy, and then the actress was it Rosemary Harris? I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but she gives a very nice speech about what a hero means, and I thought that was dialogue delivered extremely well by that actress. Because dialogue is not the best thing in these movies, but again, what do you think? The way she delivered it, I thought it fit. Not only the tone, it was just well done by the actress, and again, pretty decent dialogue in that scene. I'm still not a fan of Kirsten Dunst. I'm still not a fan of her Mary Jane being a fucking damsel in every fucking film. Like, there's nothing more creative you could come up with. And then it just seems like a very shallow, all about me, character. Of the three, she's less annoying in this. Tobey Maguire doesn't cry as much in this as he does in the other movies. I'm still not big on the musical score. Hell, I think the score to say Amazing Spider-Man 2 is a better score than the music in this one. But that's just me. I'm trying to think what else. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, Bruce Campbell's cameo, where he's the usher that doesn't let... This one, like, that cameo was fun. Like, his cameo his cameo in the third one is fucking stupid, where he's a French chef, and his annoying accent that you don't buy the French accent. Like, Bruce Campbell's cameo in the third one was shitty. Even that was stupid, but his cameo here worked. Just as cameo in the first film worked. Bruce Campbell did fine. But what was I saying? Of the three films, this definitely did the best establishing where he has all of these troubles that he's trying to deal with while also being Spider-Man. He gets fired from his job, pizza delivery. He has problems at work. He has the whole thing with Mary Jane. Rent being overdue. Piling these problems that everyone can relate to. Because in the third one, everybody fucking loves Spider-Man. They love Spider-Man. Which I thought was stupid. Here, again, they did a much better job establishing like all the hurdles that just overcoming him. Oh, he's not doing well at school. And it's like, okay, I remember that happening quite a bit in the comics. Again, something to relate to the character. And maybe that's why, even though I don't care for Tobey Maguire, I was able to like the character a bit more because of the structure. And I do think it's a bit better written than the first one. Definitely better written than the third one, which has like 85 fucking conveniences, which I'll get to again when I get to that one. I mean, the finale, the fact that, the bad guy pretty much kills himself because it's a sympathetic, heroic death. I think a part of me goes, why does it have to... I mean, even Willem Dafoe was somewhat sympathetic in the fact of, that Jekyll and Hyde thing. And then he was, oh, please don't tell Harry. That bit of it. I mean, I know it's stupid to say, well, how do you say sympathetic? You wanted to kill Mary Jane. I get that. But it's like, they still had to have that bit of, don't tell Harry. That whole bit in there. So he wasn't just 100% evil. He was maybe 85% evil. But then in Sandman, he was sympathetic. Even Topher Grace, I don't know if you say sympathetic, but he was an asshole, but he wasn't too evil a guy until the symbiote. And then people are like, the symbiote's changing you. But still, it's like, okay, he's going... It just made the finale... Because you want to see Spider-Man defeat Doc Ock, and it's Doc Ock ultimately defeating himself. So you would have been nice to have the fight be a bit bigger and more glorious. But I know people appreciate the other direction it went in. And at least Alfred Molina did play the role well. And at least Spider-Man does get the punch in these movies, which he does it in the Disney Star Wars. Yeah, Spider-Man's in Star Wars. Who knows? Maybe one day. But in these Disney Spider-Man movies, he's not allowed to punch. Just Disney or dipshits. But in this, he actually does get the punch. But yeah, I mean, other than some cringy humor, like the raindrops, that's the thing that kind of culminates the cringeworthy humor at times, is a scene like that. The score I didn't care for. Just the actors, Tobey Maguire, Kirsten Dunst, I'm just not my cup of tea. James Franco is given nothing to do. I like James Franco as an actor, but pretty much his character is just, take your pictures of your friend Spider-Man, huh? You killed my dad. Take your pictures of your friend, huh? You killed my dad. Hey, you killed my dad. I want Spider-Man. Spider-Man killed my dad. I want him. That's all. Just nothing to that character. James Franco just given nothing to do. I don't brain, because I've seen James Franco do much better. The Disaster Artist, I enjoy, and I like him in Your Highness and Pineapple Express. He even did a good job in not The Neighbor, the Interview. I wasn't big on the movie, but James Franco did a good job in it. I mean, that's actually one I need to rewatch again, The Interview. But yeah, it is. So there are issues. Again, James Franco doing nothing to do. The music, the two lead actors are just not my cup of tea. But it does, it does have that stupid thing in the same way he does in all three movies with the extras. Just all, look at Dad. Scott Spiegel, the writer of Evil Dead 2. He directed The Such-Home Intruder. He was on the counter of Evil Dead 2. The scene where he has the piece of pizza and Spider-Man gets the piece back. That's Scott Spiegel, because him and Sam Raimi are good friends. Like, this weird thing he does with these extras. I think it was in the third film, where an extra, she's like, you're like, what the fuck? Yeah, I'll get to that when I get to... Maybe I'll forget it because it's so fucking stupid. Memory wipe. But... And then, I do like the bit when he saves the train because he does it by himself. It's not like the Spider-Man Homecoming when... And that's a film I don't hate, but as time has gone on, I've liked Homecoming less and less. Like, okay, he's saving the ship, but then but no, Iron Man has to come in and save it. So it took the thunder away from Spider-Man. But here, no, Spider-Man does save that train. Granted, all these movies, he got to keep taking his fucking mask off all the time. Like, keep the fucking mask on. But that's a drinking game. How many times he takes off his mask and how many times he cries. You will die from alcohol poisoning. But yeah, the goddamn... the New Yorkers. I'm sorry, nowadays there'd be people taking pictures. They've already uploaded to Facebook. Not everyone would keep their fucking trap shut. That who Spider-Man is and what he looks like. Let's face it, there'd be some assholes. Not everybody, but there'd be some assholes. Be like, oh, fuck you. I'm uploaded bitches. So I don't buy that, but. It's meant to be a glorification, I understand. It's a comic book film, it's not realistic. But still. Just something like, yeah. But yeah, well done action sequences. The pacing wasn't too bad. It flowed better. The plot idea felt more consistent. All the normal everyday stuff coming upon Spider-Man made the character a bit more relatable. And Alfred Molina's performance as Dr. Octopus was well done. Again, there's still some stuff that bothered me, which I already mentioned, but overall, not a bad movie. Not a bad movie. I can see why people enjoy this film. So no, I do not hate Spider-Man 2. I might dislike Spider-Man 1 and I hate Spider-Man 3. That's still the worst fucking Spider-Man film I've ever seen. But Spider-Man 2 is a good one, and again, based on its consistency for the part, how it relates to the source material, again, for the most part, I just see why people objectively would call it the best Spider-Man movie. Now, if this had Tom Holland and maybe Emma Stone, who played Gwen Stacy, the Amazing Spider-Man, if you had those two as Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy instead of Mary Jane, or her play Mary Jane, change her color of her hair, we work the dialogue, some of the humor a bit, have it be more natural, like the elevator scene. I could see be even that tremendously better, in my opinion. But as it is, I do think there's many other superhero comic book films I enjoy more. Blade 2, the Captain America films, Constantine, the first two Ninja Turtle movies from the 90s, among others. The Punisher with Dolph Lundgren, The Punisher with Thomas Jane, Dredd, and others. But Spider-Man 2, I can't call it a bad movie. I don't think it's a bad movie. So, thanks for watching. Take care. Thank you once again, Nick. Again, feel free to check out the commentaries I've done for the 3 films, or by the time this upload, all 3 of these films the reviews will be uploaded. If you ever want to suggest a request via PayPal, the link will be down below. Or if you want to join my Patreon, the link to that's down below. Thanks for watching. Take care, and we will see you guys later. Bye-bye.